Let's start with the latest on health and healing. Oh, and by the way, the longest part of my show today I've set aside because you all want to hear what's going on with the ozone hole over the Antarctic, which is 3 times the size of America, especially since the government says only ultraviolet A and B is reaching this, and that's not bad. But it's ultraviolet C. They say it's not breaking through. Dame Wingington is my guest, and he'll show you that it is. So I've set more time aside for Dame. Resveratrol is one of nature's most important phytonutrients. You get it when you eat grapes and other fruits. And it can control inflammation induced by bacterial pathogens that are linked to upper respiratory tract inflammatory diseases like asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, middle ear infections, otitis media. And that's all according to the researchers at Georgia State University, and this was published in scientific reports. So it's easy to get it, but it alleviates inflammation in airway disease. But it also helps with the brain because it turns off inflammation in the brain. Helps people with dementia, Alzheimer's, in the 100 to 300 milligram gram area. So just one thing that can protect us. Also from the University of Michigan comes a 12-year study showing that cognitive function is maintained among older people who feel good about life, who have something to live for each day when they awaken. That's important. All right? So good news there. So feeling happy about yourself and your life slows the cognitive decline among older adults. That's this latest study. And better psychological well-being, we know, helps lower your blood pressure and actually extends your telomeres. So just look for the reasons why you should feel good about today, not just the bad reasons, the good reasons. Look for solutions. This was published in the Journal of Aging and Health. Also from University of East Anglia, children who eat more fruits and vegetables have better mental health. But of course they would. So the more veggies, the more fruits, the more juices made from fresh vegetables and fruits, the better mental well-being of children. Now think of it this way. Think of the countries around the world. I can use 2. Scandinavia, like Finland, that has the best educational system in the world, that doesn't require homework. They have a whole group of teachers who care about the students. So the curriculum is based upon what the student can learn. It's not based upon conformity. It's based upon uniqueness of the learning experience. And the teachers control the system. Our society, teachers used to control the system. Now, layer upon layer upon layer of completely fraudulent, totally corrupt bureaucrats, technocrats, control our educational system. And we all know that. I'm a teacher, been so for a long time. Many of you took my classes at the New School, the Fairleigh Dickinson University for a long time, and College New Rochelle, etc., Pratt Institute. So I know what it's like to be a teacher. I am one. I know what it's like to teach a class where the student's interest is first, and how to convey messages that they can relate to. That's good teaching. Teaching to the test is fraudulent. You can thank George Bush and No Child Left Behind and Barack Obama for creating this terrible system we have today. But in any case, all other systems, like in Japan, they care about the mental well-being of the children. So the children go in the morning and do all the janitorial work, sterilize all the desks, the rooms. They go in at lunch and do all the cooking. So they have a conscientious attitude. They go home and keep their rooms clean, because keeping an orderly lifestyle and being able to maintain your sense of hygiene and health and feel good about yourself, and of course the Finnish diet and a lot of the diets, especially Japanese, are rich in healing foods, including fruits and vegetables every day. And they found that they scored the highest on mental well-being. Well, isn't part of growing up with a good mental attitude? Of course it is. Also today, from Children's Hospital in Boston, they found that low-carbohydrate diets are popular because they help people control diabetes. And that is the outcome. So keep off the sugars, Keep off the refined carbohydrates, the donuts, the bagels, and the potato chips, the french fries, and go towards complex carbohydrates, nuts and seeds, legumes and pulses, and you'll be healthier and control diabetes. That was published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. And one other one right now, and that is that sunlight exposure guidelines may need to be revised based upon new information out of King's College London. Why? Previous published solar exposure guidelines for optimal vitamin D synthesis was based on a study of skin samples that may need to be revised, and the study at King's College supports the idea that we need a little bit more sunlight, but if you're using all those sun tanning lotions, sunscreens and blockers, you're not allowing the vitamin D to actually get into the skin. Now, we know that ultraviolet radiation from sunlight can cause sunburn and skin cancer. The key is not staying out long and exposing the whole body so that you end up with a burn, because that's going to wrinkle your skin later, and it could cause skin cancer earlier. So you need to realize, get your sunlight in the morning, get your sunlight in the afternoon, and try not to get full body exposure like laying like a frying egg on a beach in the middle of the day, because that's where you're getting too much of the wrong type. So you want to get your vitamin D and wear shorts, wear short sleeves, and you can get that. And by the way, University of British Columbia, an article published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, at-home workouts were very effective at reducing people's depression levels during the early months of the COVID pandemic. So the more you exercise, the less depression. I'm Gary Null. We're going to shorten up our health nutrition segment today.